Today our poem is titled, Teenage Love is Gross. You say that you love me, but if your love is putting your hands on me, then I don't want your love. You say that you want me, but the only thing you want is my body.
I had a dream where I met someone who truly loved me, walking on the beach with the one for me, side by side, glancing each other's eyes. He said I'm the one for him and pulls out roses. I blush. May I have this kiss?
Or so I thought. My friends say, you shouldn't give up on love. You'll find someone. Gross. How many times do I have to get heartbroken before the right one comes? Gross.
I want a guy that'll text me good morning and good night every day.
I want a guy that will switch me shoes after wearing heels all day.
I want a guy that'll go on long rides with me.
I want a guy who's not afraid to try new things. I want someone who respects my rights as a woman.
The only time you want to see me is at night?
Gross. But what are you doing in the free time when there's light? Do you not have time for me? Am I not good enough for you?
You say you want to get to know me?
What do you want to know? My favorite color? What I like to do? My birthday? My personalities? But you won't put in the effort. But I know about you.
Your birthday is January 10th.
Your favorite color is purple.
You love to meditate.
And you love to bake. But I made that effort.
You say you want to earn my trust.
But how could we spell trust without us? You say all these words to me, I'll be there.
You're my one and only. We're gonna grow old together.
Blah, 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 blah. But you never act on it. It's obvious that this dream won't come true. You got some issues that I can guide you through.
Maybe I can find my Prince Charming.
If they're still out there, or maybe I'll stop in my tracks so I'll never have to get heartbroken ever again.
I've never truly fell in love, or even knew if it was real. Yeah, I've liked someone, but is it real?
Maybe one day I'll figure out what true love is.
I've got a dream.
I've got a dream too. They may be a little different, but teenage love is gross.
And this piece is called Cycles.
Trigger warnings are eating disorders and abuse.
Ready? You can hide between the green, but there will always be red within.
He told me to maybe dress differently.
Style my hair.
Wear makeup.
Change my voice.
Cling to his side. Act more girly. Only love him.
I stopped eating all of his favorite foods. That's what girlfriends are supposed to do, right? Everything I liked before, he hated. Oh well.
I lost 10 pounds, but that's okay.
He wanted me to wear pink, but I didn't have anything pink in my closet.
I told him I could go buy some more clothes, but he got mad.
And stormed out of the house, leaving a trail of fury, rage,
and disgust.
But he was always so kind.
So lovable.
So precious.
He was so different when we were out in public.
He acted like he actually loved me, that he cared about me, that he was a nice person.
But behind closed doors, he was ruthless. He would force me into things I didn't want to do.
He would guilt trip me to stay with him, and I would believe him every single time.
He even went shopping with me to get more clothes that suited my new style.
If I bought something without his consent first, I would be screamed at.
God forbid it didn't match the style he wanted, or if it was the wrong color.
He would call me all sorts of names.
He changed my style. I got more compliments, but none of those clothes would make up for the fact of the countless times he forced me into wearing them.
I started wearing my hair differently.
I talked and acted more like a girl.
Pitching my voice up.
Acting scared at anything and everything. That wasn't enough. He wanted me all alone, defenseless.
I was.
All to him.
With nothing to hide.
I changed the colors that I wore.
Instead of my comfort blacks and grays.
It went to shades of pink and purples.
His personal favorite color on me was periwinkle.
I wore more makeup to reduce the heavy under eyes from the copious amounts of sleepless nights that I've had.
Or when I would cry myself to sleep when he threatened to break up with me.
And if I wanted to leave, he would threaten
me,
my family,
or himself.
He would ghost me online, give me the silent treatment in person.
God, what did I do wrong?
I was too scared to speak up.
I lost my real happiness.
I was only focusing on him and trying to make him happy, not myself. If I focused on myself, he would call me a narcissist.
I
But-
wanted to speak out. I wanted to tell someone.
But who would believe me?
I had to leave, but it wasn't that simple.
He had his claws deep in my soul.
But leaving kept all the wounds that he left.
But we made it out, scarred, but alive.
It's last period, American government, we just watched CNN 10, then a lockdown starts.
Speakers erupted when sirens started, smothering any and all abilities to hear outside the door.
The repetitive announcement hung in the air like a taunt.
Attention.
My teacher's face falls and she calls out, "Be quiet! This isn't a drill!" No one is laughing this time.
The cars pile up, guilt and fear bond over a beer, becoming one, memories fermented and distilled, a mother's greatest fear. I'm sorry, ma'am, your child was killed.
In a disorganized, panicked line, we go to the corner of the room and sit, then wait and listen.
I started typing to loved ones near and far. My boyfriend still in the building. My dad so close I could wonder if I tried. And my best friend deserves to know if this is goodbye.
The messages swarmed.
It's nothing, it's just a drill.
My teacher said it wasn't.
My teacher said it was all just a false SWAT call.
All I needed to know was that it wasn't a drill.
One moment, I'm rolling away onto a field trip.
It wasn't a drill.
My phone's face flashes a text message. We're in a lockdown, the cops had guns. A smile was swept swiftly off my face and left a block down the street. Holy shit is on my finicky fingers and muster out.
I switch contacts, my father's icon alighting my face, and I type, "I'm sorry I never do the dishes on time. Delete."
Petty insults, trivial outbursts, conflict in vain, crowds of people remembering names until the next kid dies.
I'm sorry I never did the dishes on time.
And they will die.
Wasn't able to think a reasonable nor rational thought. My friends, my teachers, these people who I care about so deeply could be helpless and hurt.
We had been hiding for far too long. My heart sank, the room spun, my stomach turned as hot tears fell down my cheeks.
I started picturing bullet-filled bodies, teachers, students huddled in corners.
I can't do anything about it.
Up until there's a booming voice looming right outside my classroom, the knob giggling and twisting.
Silently sitting, staring at nothing, my mind running a mile a minute.
Till the last safeguard bursts open, the hard edges of cold, deadly steel entering first.
Praying to whoever it may be that these innocent lives will be able to look tomorrow in the face. And the last time I hear from them isn't a panicked text.
A bomb got made for the area. It was the first rumor I heard that held any truth.
Swatting. Did you laugh?
I imagined that instead of a police officer holding a rifle like I was forced to face, it was a shooter.
A call from outside the country.
Where are you? Behind a wire, perhaps an ocean away, tormenting children?
And I didn't want to imagine any further.
It was a false call.
Locks, lights, out of.
Silence fell over the building.
Did the cool touch of a receiver supplement the love of a mother?
Quiet was heavier than the loud noises.
Do you feel good?
The voice finally rang out to make us aware of our safety.
Did your girlfriend try to call you as you cried wolf? A bomb, a gun, the youth? Reality is the issue, the misuse. Neutrality means nothing to families. Son, daughter, lead-laden slaughter. It's a tool. School was supposed to be safe.
Tonight, I'd like to present to you a poem I titled, Cherry Blossoms and Hibiscus Bloom Never in the Spring. Cherries hone eugenic rigor rendered yeasty. Bring forth love for occipital desires sent from sentimental figures outside of my very sacred decisions and hungers that can never be sated by the field of imposed integrals that rely upon the validation of those who expect me to be independent as possible before adulthood. Bear the badge of the one who's expected to always feel imposed emotions. You, as all men, aren't allowed to cry unless you're getting married or someone dear to you has died. Informed as when to cry, but never informed when not to cry until they see that you don't want to be an alligator. Then you have to mark on your circadian rhythm that your tears amount to nothing. They won't value. Sent to school to be something, sent from school with nothing except for empty expectations held in my empty hands. Identity stricken for following not what's been indented in grain and lashings. Aren't dolls supposed to be perfect in porcelain? If porcelain is perfect, then I'd rather be made marginaic. Current currents are the only way I've been able to reshape my being after deciding each in which ways I let them throw or set me. Dust to dirt, dirt to stone, stone to ceramic. Here nears the end of their glory and the beginning of my kintsugi. For I'm not what you shape, but rather what we indent. Yes, us! Bless me not, love me whole. Omnipotent you aren't. One self's prime orthodox means not change, nor what you hope I am. Everlasting longing and the vice that ties you to me by mirages. Enticed by free will and the wish to be reborn in. Tear my tears' love asunder. Hold the hours never close, even when they are fleeting. Set the sails and pull up the anchor that you tagged to my side, now ragged by expectations. Perfection that's not unrealistic, but rather not foreseeable in my near future, and hopefully not in yours either. Rend the fabric of my being time and time again. You will end your search noting your new discovery. It'll read, when looking through the haystack for the needle, I found that even diamonds can be crushed in finite. Nestless scavenging leaves you frustrated and leaves me in the pig pen. But in finite time, I never fail to get back up again and reform myself with the acceptance that I'll never be the perfect child. I'm winter born anyway. Thank you.
We'll be reading a poem we wrote called Sometimes. Sometimes I sit there and think. Sometimes everything they ever said will replay in my head, and I don't know who I am anymore or why I'm holding this pen. Sometimes I get so deep in my mind that the ink on my paper begins to bleed through, and the pen in my hand slowly slips away once I realize what I've done.
Usually I'll convince myself that it's you hurting me, but it's really just me hurting myself. I do things that hurt me more than it hurts you.
I look down at my arm now that the flesh is barely bone, and the anger I once felt soon turns into disappointment.
Well, I think of the hoodies and bracelets that I'll have to wear for the next few weeks just so you don't have to worry about me. Because in a world where you're supposed to be skin and bones, how else am I supposed to get rid of the layers and layers of skin that have been protecting me for years after years of my life?
But
sometimes we'll get better. Sometimes he'll stare in the mirror and tell the boy staring back at him that he's
beautiful.
Or
for the girl to uncover the mirror because her
rejection is perfection,
and to remind her that his hands
aren't there anymore,
that
his words can't hurt me
because
none of it was true.
But
sometimes I'll remember how you made me feel,
the good and the bad, but mostly the good.
I'll leave those scars in the past and wash myself clean from the red ink soaking my skin while I wait for the day
to write the words 1 year sober on my calendar.
Sometimes I'll think about my pen,
but I'll grab my phone
and call you instead.
Sometimes it gets better.
Sometimes we'll get better.